Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Weird Room with myself, young Eric, and young Tim.
We've never felt more weird than we have tonight.
Exactly. And tonight is Tim's choice, and Tim's gone for Fairy Hills and Forts, which I think is a absolutely fantastic subject. Lots of stuff to talk about in that department. And I want to check out, see how your week's been. How's your week been, young Tim?
Good, thank you. Yeah, very quiet.
Excellent. Getting over that bug cold.
Yeah, I feel much better now. Yeah, I feel much better.
Good. Young Eric, how have you been?
Really good.
Anything to report?
Work done.
You what, bud?
Got some more work done.
All right, what have you been doing?
REM pods. A black one done, lantern done.
Oh, I saw the lantern. You put it on YouTube, on Facebook, didn't you?
Yep.
That looks really good.
Yeah.
Was that intricate? Was that hard to make? Or was that pretty straightforward? Was that easy to make?
No, it was kind of hard because you have to take certain bits of it apart and then put the lines or the cords where they have to go hidden. So, but not too hard.
We've got total faith in you, Eric. If anybody can do it, we know that you can do it. And it's absolutely. You've been making some good stuff. You've made some sort of waterproof ones as well, haven't you?
Yep.
Which are great, which are actually perfect for this country because it's always raining. So it's good when you're outside doing an investigation. So I'm going to say hello to a few people. Hello, Annette. I hope you're doing well, Nettie. Evening, you bloody marvellous. To you, marvellous Nettie. Hi, Joanne. Well, all the way from Canada. Excellent. We were just talking about Canada and America and saying about snow that you have. And we were saying that we sort of fall foul of that. When we have an inch of snow over here, everything stops. Hi, you Rab. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hi, young, you old George. And Rita. Hi, Tim, you cheeky monkey. Rita says to you, Tim.
Rita.
Hi, Bri. Hope you're doing well, bud. So that is the nicety put over. Are you, Joanne? Oh, I said, are you, Joanne? Not yet. I've jinxed it now, Joanne. I've jinxed it. So excellent. So Tim, I'm going to let you lead the way with the lead us down the fairy path, the magical garden, into the whispery woods, into Fairyville.
Well, it's not just the fair. I thought we'd have a chat about the forts because I've been watching a lot on the YouTube. While I've been tattooing, I've been having the YouTube on, listening to various things, and it come up about the fairy forts, predominantly in Ireland, the ones I watched. But what I couldn't believe was the amount of these so-called fairy forts and fairy, hills is 65,000.
I know. Do you know what? I only found that out today. I thought maybe in the hundreds. You know what I mean? But when it's in the 65,000, that's not got to be the whole of Ireland.
What? 65,000? I know it's pretty sparsely populated compared to our country, to this side of the Irish Sea, but even so, and I just couldn't believe what they were saying. I love Ireland. I've been many times.
Yeah, Ireland's gorgeous.
And my ancestry is from there on my maternal side. They were Romany gypsies and came over.
Yeah, I'm a
paddy myself. World War II.
Yeah, I'm a paddy myself. I'd be DNA done. I'm 92% Irish. Hiya, Lo.
Yeah, it's getting worn out now. I'm going to have to get some new ones. I'm nearly an old age pensioner. I can't afford new shirts.
Oh, you will? You can't afford new what?
Shirts. I'll go down to the charity shop and have a look. So, anyway, what was I on about? Lovely. Oh, yeah. And some of the things that they believe out there, the Irish people, God love them, and you know, the myths and the folklore. It's just mind blowing. They build roads. They build roads around these hills.
Yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. My mum and dad, I mean, they were brought up in like as Roman Catholics in Ireland. Yeah. And so, you know, that was it. They ruled with a rod, the church. The Catholic churches do anywhere, don't they? But in Ireland, they really did rule with a rod. And they were brought up by something. Yeah, they were brought up by Christian brothers and that. But it's amazing, really, because just beneath that respectable veneer of Christianity, you scratched it, and my mother and father were pure pagan. They believed wholeheartedly, completely in the faith. Wouldn't have it any other way. You know, this is a real thing, a genuine thing. I don't know what. I think the youngsters now are even still like it a lot, aren't they? It dies hard, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I was looking at those faults and that, and they were saying that you know, these are like some of them are 3,000-4,000 years BC. Yeah. And they were used by the kings of Ireland, and then obviously when they left or they sort of died out, they fell into disrepair, and they said that the Fae took them over, and then the Fae utilised them and lived kind of underneath them.
Underground,
they were called wraiths. These
That's the Irish name for them, isn't it?
Yeah, called wraith, And I think it's just interesting. So that's intriguing and interesting. And they were saying, you know, that Ireland actually doesn't belong to it belongs to the people of Ireland, but it actually belongs to the Fae.
Yeah.
You know, they're the original or the initial original owners of it. So it's quite interesting. Then you had the Tuatha Dé Danann, which were the original, which were considered to be the original Fae. Yeah. But I also think the Tuatha Dé Danann were actually an actual tribe, an Irish tribe, which was quite interesting. But they were Celts as well, the Irish. But also they were a tribe called the Beaker tribe.
Yeah, Beaker people.
Yeah, and there was a Scotty tribe, and the Scotty tribe left Ireland, went across to Scotland, and that's how Scotland got its name. That's how they were called Scots, because they robbed the Scotty tribe. So interesting, you know.
I know. There's some fabulous stuff on YouTube.
Oh, amazing! And
the thing is, sorry, carry on.
No, that's just to say the things like the Scots, strong, ardent Celts, and also they entrenched in Fae law itself. You know, it's amazing. Yeah. So is the Welsh.
Yeah.
And the Cornish.
They're all Celts. Well, all Celts. What it was, like Boudica and all them, they were Celts. They came across. Then the Romans came. Romans went, and then the Saxons came, and all the Celts were pushed over to the west.
Yeah.
Like Wales, the Scottish was still up there, and Cornish, and the Saxons pushed across, didn't they? But, So that's why it's all predominantly that side, I think.
Yeah. I think you had the Druids that were pushed down to Cornwall, weren't they? And then they were pushed further down to sort of Wales. And then they were sort of slaughtered by the Roman Empire and what have you then, weren't they?
Wasn't the Anglesey quite a stronghold of Druids?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it was. Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing, really.
Yeah.
I'm Catholic, but I don't practice it because the parishioners don't like what I do, because I'm a clairvoyant and I shouldn't be doing what I love to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's yeah. You find your own way. I'm sure God won't judge you on things like that. I mean, I can't speak for God, but I think that, you know, each to their own, isn't it, really?
Yes. Whatever brings you comfort, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched a few of this Pat Noonan. He's such a character.
Oh, he's superb.
And somebody was interviewing him, some young girl, and the things he was going into were amazing. And this girl said, "Well, what about your friends? What do they think about all this?" Because he's a farmer. He's got a so-called fairy fort on his land. He said, in a beautiful Irish accent, down near where is he? Galway.
Yeah.
And he said, when I first speak to them, they're a bit sort of because they're Catholics as well. But when we go down the pub and we've had a few pints,
it all comes out.
Their tongues loosen, and they all go on about the experiences they've had and blah de blah. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
I thought that was brilliant. Yeah, I can imagine them all sitting there around a big log fire talking about the fire. Oh, I'd love to be there. And they all get their instruments out and have a jam.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it? I love that old Celtic music talking about the Fae. Couldn't think of anything better, could you?
No.
I have fairies next door. I hear them banging away every night. Gifts come from God, and I'm a servant of God, and I do my job for God. Hey, there you go. There you go. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah.
Do you know what? If you were not, if you were to live your life according to the letter of the church, you wouldn't do anything.
No.
Yeah, that according to anybody. I mean, be yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's just just concentrate on you. And if you're a good, my dad used to say, you know what, the best thing you can be in this world is a decent person. That's all that. That's all that God really wants of you. Yes. You know, just to be a decent, loving person and respect everybody.
If it ain't nice, don't say it. That's what my mum
exactly. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like the stories that I was looking at, some of the stories, because I've obviously researched Fae and stuff like that, and over the years, and I was listening to some new stories and some listening to old stories, and it's very dark, isn't it? A lot of it is very dark.
Oh, like
if you have a run-in with one of these spirits, you're going to end up in the shit end of the stick, basically.
Yeah.
And it always emanates in either someone's death or someone like bad luck. And they were saying that even up until quite recently, there was some big businessman, some well-known Irish businessman, and he decided to cut through a fairy fort. And literally, within a few months, the lot had gone. Business, money, everything had gone. So make of that what you will. But, sometimes it's best not to chance it, isn't it, really,
Yeah. Yeah, I was listening to various stories this afternoon about that. They're very different to what Walt Disney portrays as fairy.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, people got that idea of Disney fairies in their head, haven't they? And it's absolutely nothing like that.
And I posted some of the things that people have caught theories on my Facebook. So,
well, yeah, and I mean, the thing is, people have got this idea or this concept in their head that they're like tiny little things. Some of them as big as you and I.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what Pat was saying. He was saying like they're the same height as us. Children see them differently because they're small.
Yeah.
Like my Emma did. But what about you, Eric? Is it the same sort of thing out where you are, or
no? Not really.
No, you don't have.
I've never heard any stories about berries. We usually get Mothman, but maybe that.
Well, you know what? That could be a form of Fae, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Bigfoot could be a form of Fae. Dogman could be a form. We don't really know, do we?
No, we don't.
It's a mystery. It's a mystery, as Toya Wilcox said.
It is indeed. But I think you find that generally, globally, no matter where you go, they've all got their own versions, and generally the versions are pretty typical of what everybody says that is.
Yeah.
But I'm always weary about these. I mean, don't get me wrong. They could be. I mean, if they're magical, they can make themselves whatever size they want to be. Fairies are actually smaller than kids. Kids are about 8 foot now, William.
They was like there was some this afternoon. They don't necessarily appear as human form. Shapeshift. They can shapeshift.
What was the one I was listening to a little while back? And they were saying the guy was saying, what was it now? Oh, it might have been the guy that did the what was it called? I've got a book there. Into the Uncanny. Oh, it was Danny Robbins or Danny Roberts, can't read it properly, but he was talking about that he was going through Ireland and they drove through this pass in Ireland, beautiful scenery, and then to the right, middle of nowhere, I don't have a fairy, but I have a guardian angel, and I live in Japan. We don't believe in fairies here. And he said that he saw one at the side of the road, and it was like they didn't sort of clock it until after they'd gone a bit past it. And then he's thinking, hang on, that was bloody weird and unusual looking. They turned around and went back, and there was nowhere for it to go, but because obviously it's like wilderness. But on this pass, it had gone completely, And another story I remember reading about a guy, I think he was in Scotland, and he went for a hike up across the he went for a hike in the Highlands, and he said he turned around and saw on about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet high, or 4 feet high, like a little old wizened old man. And he looked at him, and he said the way that he looked at him, the way that the fairy looked at him, for want of a better description, he looked at him like he was surprised that he could see him.
Oh.
And then he said he just evaporated, just went, bang, just disappeared.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, I believe in them fully. Absolutely, fully believe in them, without a doubt, you know. And they're everywhere. You know, it's not just, I mean, yeah, they are nature spirits, but, you know, you have them in your house and like brownies and stuff like that. You know, stuff.
Yeah.
People, also, you know, when people talk about poltergeists and ghosts, and I always say, yeah, but you know what? The actions of a poltergeist or a spirit could very much like actions of the fae. Little bit of cheekiness, a little bit of, you know, winding you up, having a bit of a laugh at your expense, and all of that type of thing. So we don't really know what we're dealing with.
No.
You know, and I do think that a lot of these, what people perceive to be spirit, well, they are spirits, but not spirits of human spirits. I think that they are probably nature spirits that they're dealing with.
Spirits.
You know, I mean, we did an investigation years ago now, and it was a pub, and this pub was in Epping Forest, and this pub was nobody would go in it. Nobody would ever go in it, right? So this guy, two women were there, and they cheered it, and they called us in to investigate because there was stuff going on in the pub, right? So the forest, it was in the forest. It was actually in the forest.
Wow.
So anyway, we went there a couple of months later, and they'd gone. They just packed their gear and run off. But we still went on the allotted night, and we turned up, and the guy didn't have any idea who we were or what we were doing. Hi, Nicola. So he said, well, you're here now. Carry on investigating. So he said, well, will it hurt your business? Will it stop, you know, people coming in and that? He went, nobody comes in here. He went, they'll drive up, he said, and they'll look. He said, then they'll drive off. He went, they won't come in here. He said, even New Year's Eve. Now, bearing in mind, there's a little village just up the road from it, within walking distance. So this is the only pub there. But even New Year's Eve, 2 people came in, and they left before it struck 12. They left before New Year's celebrations. And he said, I don't know. He said, it's just very odd. He said, I've not experienced anything here apart from this absence of like, you know, patrons. People just wouldn't go in there. So we started doing an investigation there, and we didn't pick up on any. We picked up on, there was these shadows moving around, and you could physically see these shadows. And I had at the time, I don't know if you remember, they used to have those what they were called electromagnetic field. They were generators, so they used to generate electricity. And what they do is they pump it out. So it was an EM pump, so an electric magnetic field. It would pump it out, and what it was said to do is give spirits enough energy to then become active and to move about and even apparate. And we put it on, and then we started seeing these shadows moving around, which was very odd because it didn't look remotely human. And I said, you know, can you do something? Can you move something? Can you pick something up? And now the EM pump I had was a silent pump. So if that had generated the electromagnetic field, it didn't vibrate like a lot of them. So I put it on a flat seat, started to ask questions. I said, whatever you do, don't pick my pump up because it's a lot of money and I can't afford to replace it, jokingly. And then we sat there, and the guy next to me, who was well versed in investigating, tapped me on the knee, pitch black, and pointed to the chair next to me. And the pump, I kid you not, the pump lifted about 8 inches.
Bloody
smashed against the bar. Smashed to pieces against the bar. Literally about 4 foot, it smashed against the bar.
Wow.
Right? I wasn't very happy because it cost me a lot of money, that pump at the time. It's 10 a penny now. And I'd spoke to a friend of mine who'd been there one evening. Well, not a ghost hunter. And he went to me, Dan, do you believe in ghosts? Now, this is kind of fortuitous. And I said, well, yeah, completely believe in ghosts. He didn't know what I did at the time. And he went, we were down at Epping the other day, he said, and we went to near the pub there. I went, right. He said, and we parked in the woods behind it. He went, and this ball of light, this like an orb, I know people think of orbs, but he said this thing was solid. He said, and it came round and it followed us. He said, we crapped ourselves. We jumped in the car. He said, and as we drove down the road, it followed us about 100 yards, and we looked out the back window, and it stopped, and then went back again. He said, but we never ever went back there again. Now, this is the same pub. So he's given me this information unknown that I'd investigated it, and I had previous information about it. But the night we were there, a couple pulled up, got out the car. You saw him looking at the pub, got back in the car and drove straight off. He didn't have one visitor that Saturday night that we were there. Saturday night, not one visitor in that pub. Really odd.
It obviously shut down then in the end.
Actually, I'll tell you the first thing that came to my mind.
The pub. Do you know what? They pulled the pub down. Now they've got flats there.
Oh,
which is interesting because I've often said I'd like to go back there and sort of surreptitiously ask,
see if they're still
around your flats.
Yeah, see if stuff's still going on. Yeah.
Sorry, what did Spooky Japan? Dan, would you think that the spirit was angry with you being there because they don't normally do stuff like that? I don't think that. I think that they were. I think they were nature spirits. I don't think that they were human. I think they were nature.
Hi, Noreen.
Hi, Noreen. So it was clear that these woods, this forest, obviously had element. Well, clearly had elements of the fae living in it, like all woodlands and forests.
Oh yeah,
I just don't think they were necessarily happy with the pub being there.
Yes,
I'll tell you what the pub was called. It was called Five String Jack, and it was named after a highwayman that had got caught by it. But it's gone now. The pub, but it had been there for 100 years, 150 years. So it had been there a long while. But it'd be interesting to see if those flats there have got any activity in them.
Yeah, I wondered that.
Well, they say that fairies can present themselves as an orb of light. So.
Yeah, and it's all raised around the woodlands, isn't it? A lot of it. When people speak about these orbs or these light, and you've got the wisp as well, haven't you? Which is is the fae, which that follow the light to your end, basically. But it's intriguing, isn't it? Really, it's. But I'd like to do a lot more investigating. I think around woods.
Catherine.
Hi, Catherine.
We're off to Rendlesham. We're off to Rendlesham again next weekend.
Oh, wow.
Now, Rendlesham, there was a guy telling me about Rendlesham.
It's amazing.
And he said that it's not, people going about this ufology thing like that's the only thing. But that's not the only thing that goes on there. There's meant to be sort of elementals and everything there, aren't there?
Yeah, everything.
Some really unusual creatures in there.
That's what I want to go next year.
You get why would you have Air Force people in trucks driving around the forest?
Yeah.
But you do.
Yeah.
My friend, he's been a few times, Andy, and they'll be walking through the. I know it's in the evening, and a blacked out Range Rover will come past, slow down, and have a good look, see what they're doing. Why? It's just the woods. Why are they so interested, the military, in the place?
I think that 99% of that is not anything to do with ufology. I think it's to do with fae, because it's all woodlands, isn't it? They get pissed off with this built there. It's like, what? How dare you build in our domain? Quite rightly so. They should get it ump.
I went with Karen before we split up in February. We stayed in Lowestoft, and we went there when didn't actually see anything, but she's on a mobility scooter. But we went on the UFO trail because it's all paved. It's brilliant if you're a bit disabled. Anyway, when you're walking down the path and a bus or a lorry goes past you and creates a bit of a
like wind tunnel, That
happened on the path with us.
What, in the woods?
The woods were like 50 yards either side of the path, and then we was just like this, and a big whoosh went past us. Yeah, that was the only thing that happened on that day we went, and that was strange. It's like a big like a juggernaut went past. It's a big 18 wheeler at like 80 miles an hour.
So clearly something could disturb the wind or the air there then.
Yeah. But my mate's seen a couple of orbs in there. He said they were the size of oranges, but they were spinning and going round each other near the floor.
Yeah,
like
I think that's fake, you know. I know a lot of people keep saying, oh, well, you know what, these UFOs and stuff, and it's always activity around where they're around. But you know what, that could still be nothing to do with the UFOs. That could be completely separate from that, you know. It's intriguing, isn't it? And the amount of people that seem to have these experiences. I mean, you've only got to go on YouTube and you've got to see, I had an experience over 30 years ago in my house. I sat there with my mouth open thinking, did I actually just see that? But you know what? Who was it? I think face not very stressful times, not exclusive. Do you know what? They're not exclusive to outside, Noreen. I agree. I don't think they are.
Yeah, because I saw those. I call it a house elf, but it's not. It's a little creature that runs across the floor. I've seen a couple of videos like that, and you can tell it's not AI because it goes behind the furniture and stuff.
Well, a lot of those videos came out before AI was even a thing, didn't they?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those videos came out before AI was a thing, and that's the interesting thing. I think that a lot of people that are those ones in houses are brownies and things like that, apparently.
Yeah.
But I genuinely think that a lot of people that think they're experiencing hauntings are actually experiencing activity from the Fae. You know, and who knows? Who knows what they're capable of? Obviously, they're beyond our dimension, so they've got all sorts of magic and fantastical stuff going on. Of course, my friend lives on a place where Native Americans passed away, like at buried ground, and next to her, the city is building a bike path trail ride, and we know bad juju is going to happen. So yeah. Yeah. It's strange, amazing though, amazing, and the amount of people that have. Topic of the day is the Fae Vietnam flashbacks made by whiskey on stamp.
I gotta grab something. I'll be right back.
It's amazing the amount of people that will actually tell you they've had experiences with it. I mean, or with them. I mean, you know, you got to look at a lot of these podcasts that are out there at the minute. You know, I think there's one called the Fairy Godmother. She talks about people that have had experiences or real experiences with the Fae. There's another one called Ray or Hair Ray Girl or Ray Hair. I can't think of the lady's name now. She's another one who does it, and these are normal, well-adjusted individuals.
Yeah,
that have had these experiences, but can't, for the life of them, give you an answer to it. You know, but they know that it's not ghosts. They you know, they're adamant that these are nature spirits that they've been dealing with or had experiences with. So it's intriguing. So Noreen says, I've never seen one since, but it's etched in my mind, and it will be. I think that is quite, it's quite the honour.
Oh, get down.
To experience these things, you know. Not that I'd want any dealings with them. Be nice to see them, but I wouldn't want any dealings with them because they're really, really intelligent and clever beings, you know. It's by all accounts, they'll wrap you up around their finger without you even knowing it. But you know, there's, as you see, lots and lots of. But getting back to the fairy hills and the faults, I mean, we've got Iron Age and prehistory faults and hills over here, haven't we? That, you know, I'm sure you find them around stone circles as well.
We've got two right near us. One's in a little village called Pittsford, right in the middle of the village, and another one just near that. Yeah.
But it's amazing, isn't it? In Ireland, they'll move. I mean, they did recently, didn't I say recently, the last 20 years or so, 10, 15, 20 years, they moved the road to go around. Yeah. I know what it was. It was something. They moved, and it cost them millions extra to avoid going through and damaging this with the fairies' land. Some really beautiful others kind of look like mainly Ken dolls, while others just look and smell like each one of those. Damn it. Strange, yeah, I can imagine, Nora, but I can't imagine, but yeah. I've seen.
And they're not boys.
You know, I'm not a psychic or a medium or anything, but I've experienced seeing spirit. But as far as I know, I don't think I've seen a member. But how would you know? How would you know? That's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you could be walking through the woods and see them, and so that's your waterproof one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, it's the blue one that I got. I got black and I got blue, and now that I got everything that I needed in the mail, I'm going to be making the rest of them tonight. So,
see, that's the thing. I think if you go out and you investigate woodlands and places like that, take those type of things with you.
Yep.
You know,
yeah.
Take all of that. Take your ghost hunting kit with you, because it could, you know, it's going to work through spirit dimension. It's going to become active with those with the Fae as well. Not surprised with this house anymore. So many strange experiences here. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We need to know what it is, Noreen. We need to perhaps get you on one week and
definitely have a chat about it.
If you're up for it.
We've got to get Catherine on at some point as well.
Yeah,
Catherine's had experiences with the Fae and stuff, so that'd be interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the big conversations we had to get Catherine on, because she has a lot of experiences with them.
She does. Yeah, she does. I know William's had experience with he's sort of telepathically, which I've heard actually. Quite a few people say that they've had experiences with Bigfoots and with cryptids that have been psychically. So they've communicated with them through telepathically. So I know William said that he's had an experience like that, one or two, I think. Absolutely. So interesting to get him on to see what's going on there. But yeah, it's just dimensions that we have got no idea about out there. You know, it's amazing how we think that we're top of the tree and what have you. That's why it's amazing that we think we're top of the tree and we're ignorant to it, and people are going about their daily business shooing it and just not taking it into consideration. You think, well, you've got to keep an open mind with these things. I mean,
it's unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's only the past 50, 60 years with the advent of technology and what have you that people have put the reality of the Fae and spirits behind them. Before that, you know, thousands of years of dealing with them. Some forests are beautiful beyond words, some are, Which was skunks fishing a bit of an elephant duck.
Between skunks and fish.
But yeah, it's interesting. So Noreen says, I've been lucky enough, or not so lucky in some circumstances, to have witnessed many things. Some funny, some not so much. I'm not the only person who experienced things in this particular house I've lived in for 33 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think what people do, what you got to do, I think, people got to spin it. So we're right at the bottom of the tree, Dan. Yeah. And do you know what? We're ignorant because we think we're at the top of it. Spirits here hate equipment and they don't like my cat balls. I took my paranormal friend to our biggest haunted cemetery in Tokyo. They couldn't care less about equipment. When I went to Hiroshima, the spirits told me to put away my stuff. Yeah, there's things to be said for that as well. Too much equipment.
Yeah, they were talking about that before. They were saying that you can't make them do circus performance tricks. So.
No. You know, you wouldn't. You wouldn't go into a pub and start poking somebody and say, "Make that light up. Can you do this? Can you talk to me?"
Exactly.
So it's rude to go in and shout the odds with a spirit, you know.
Yeah, you got to talk to them like they're human beings.
Well, yeah, exactly. And even if they're not human, respect. It's all about respect, isn't it? And love. Yeah. You know.
You know, if you're of the feeling that it's like 14th century, start chatting a bit about what who was the king in the fort and all this, and what they thought about them and things like that, and what they might be interested in.
Yeah.
And you might get results more than saying, "Oh, light up that cat ball! Light up that cat ball!"
Yeah, I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
Well, that's why I make bigger cat balls.
Yeah. I know what I mean.
Making one that has where you can take the antenna part of it is more like a power cord, and you can steer it across the door, and that way, if anything walks through it that's not human, they'll set it off.
Wow!
I've got a bit of equipment. I want to have a word with you, Eric. I need you if I've got the idea of what I want, and hopefully you'll be able to pull it together.
Well, I know you asked me for a couple of things that I have to get on yet, but it's going to take a
no rush. It's all in your time. It's no rush for it. There's a bit. I want to do some experiments with, of all things, plants and trees, because I think that plants and they've all got the fae attached to them.
Yep.
You know, they're part of the natural world, part of the natural element. They've all, trees got a soul, and I think that the soul of the tree is probably a fae. The forest fae are the alcoholics. The ones in the Martian swamps are just arseholes. They do attain humour, like beat the shit out of your own self and they'll laugh at you, but getting them to like you, that's the thing, isn't it? And that's the thing, getting them to like you. I'm quite sceptical, by the way. I always approach, and you should be, Noreen. I think you've got to be.
Oh, yeah,
because if you're skeptical, then what you find once you've gone through pulling it apart and being rigorous with the analysation or the analytical side of it, what you're left with, once you know that you've done your job properly by being critical and pulling it apart, what you're left with is an experience that could possibly be paranormal. And I think that's the thing. Yeah, there's bits kit. I think always be respectful when you're dealing with spirit, no matter, whether it's fae, whether it's human spirit or whatever. Always be respectful, because you want people to be respectful to you. It's like I always say as well, you're going into these homes where you're dealing with human spirit. You could be dealing with someone's grandmother or father.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, you wouldn't want people to speak to your grandfather like that. So what gives you the right to then do it to someone else's?
Yeah.
It's all about approaching it with love and respect, isn't it, really? Approaching them with love and respect, not it.
Definitely.
Yeah, alternative explanations, yeah. That's the only way to do it. Noreen. But yeah, I think over time, we're gonna try and get some people on. There's an Irish guy, not Pat Noonan, and you're on about. There's another Irish fellow who I've followed. He's very good. And he's when you talk to him about the fae, completely and utterly believes in them, completely dedicated to it, to the cause. But was that I learned if you give offerings of food and gifts to the spirit, they respond. But yeah, exactly. Just leave a gift. Same with the Bigfoots, isn't it?
I don't know.
Hi, Lorna.
When I lived in Devon, there was a lot of, they call them clootie trees, where old hawthorn trees, where you just walk through the woods and you'd see all the cloth hanging on the branches.
Yeah. That's a real pagan tradition, isn't it? That's real fae stuff, isn't it, going on there?
But they'd be in the middle of nowhere, Strange. I think the hawthorn tree's the most popular one.
Yeah, the hawthorn and was it hawthorn, blackthorn, and something berry, I can't remember now. But that's the thing. When people go to the forest and they take things, you've always got to ask. I always ask before, even if it's dead, like dead wood or whatever. I always ask. And if I took something from nature, then what I used to do, not so much now because I haven't got a lot, but I would always cut a bit of hair and leave it. Thank you. Or a bit of food that I'd put that down for It's just because it's a trade, isn't it? It's like, don't take something for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
You wouldn't go to someone's house and take, I like that, and then take it. Why would you do it to their domain, But yeah, it's interesting. But this Irish fellow, I can't think of the man's name now. But he's a leading authority on the fae, and he said, you do not really want dealings with them because a lot of them are not what you think they are. They're not these cuddly, sweet little creatures that you see in Disney. These beings mean business. And do not give them an inch, and better to just avoid them at all costs if you can, But he came in with a very good. He came in with a good point, which I thought, well, that's interesting, because she said to him, "Do you get many fae around towns and cities and stuff like that?" And he went, "You might get the odd one." He went, "But no, generally," he said, "you'll get the middle of nowhere, where there's no electricity or anything, because modern technology is like a poison. The shadow fae, though, oh gods, those shadow fae, they were shit down your throat. I was bad to thank them for it. Even the rest of the fae can't stand them. Yeah, there's so many different types, aren't there? There's so many different, there's as many different types of fae as there are. Well, I say people, but they're all one species, aren't we? Same as they are.
Mm.
But well, maybe they're not. But yeah, it's interesting. Would I like to see one? I'd like to see one. Would I like to have dealings with one? No, I don't think I would. There you go. There's the member of the fae there. Look.
Yep, I remember a fae.
The tiger.
It is Tigger.
Oh.
But yeah, it's definitely a. Have you ever been to any of the fairy hills and the forts at all, Tim or Eric? You must have been in America, have you?
Not that I know of. Maybe way up where Catherine is, but
No.
Yeah, it must be hill forts and
the
fairy
only
forts.
experience that I've ever had with the fae was in my woods. I think they're fae. I don't know for sure, but climbing up and down that tree when I was young. So.
Oh, would you have experiences?
Yeah.
What were they?
I don't know what they were.
No, what were the experiences?
Oh, these were I was just walking through the woods. Every time I go out to the woods, I usually go right after school or on the weekend. And I stay all day in the woods. But when you go down the path from my parents' house, it's right on a farmer's field, an old farmer's field, and then goes into the 200-acre woods. And there's always these little black creatures that are running up and down the trees, and they're not squirrels, because I know what a squirrel looks like. So
Yeah. But you did.
Yeah.
I get you. Did you just accept them?
Yeah, just accepted them. I just said, oh, that's cool, and then kept walking to my friend's house through the woods. So,
do you know it's amazing, isn't it? When you're a kid, I mean, you probably the same, Tim. I guess everybody is. When you're a kid, you always make for the woods to play as kids.
Yeah.
It's like it's something magical about the woods, isn't it?
Exactly.
Very,
you're dead right.
You make for the woods because it's somewhere comfortable and somewhere cozy and warm and loving and special, and you do it for the rest of you for your whole life. I've been to the Fairy Glen on Skye and it's otherworldly. Oh, I bet that's gorgeous there. Like they just like to talk about themselves, comment on how beautiful they are, and they'll love you. Yeah.
I might have said something out loud. That's pretty cool. Or I don't know. I don't remember. I was only about 10, 12 years old. So
what was that? What when you experienced it?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool experience, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting.
But you've got ones in America as well, which I can't think what they're called. I was watching them. I only learned about them the other month, and it was interesting. I tried to get as much information on them as I could because it was intriguing. And they were saying that they're members of the Fae, but they're like little Native Americans, like tiny.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
High, and they're like little tiny Native Americans, and people they see them, and then they kind of get shocked if you can see them, but they're gone as quick as you see them. They're gone again, and there's quite a few hunters apparently that have had that experience and come forward and went, "Yeah, we've experienced this," and there's a name for them, but I found it really interesting, really intriguing. But yeah, I have a few places near me that have them. There you go, see, St. Catherine. So yeah, you must have them in the States. Fairy hills and forts have got to be. It must be a global phenomenon, mustn't it?
Is Catherine in the States? Is she?
Yeah. Catherine's in. She's in. Bloody hell! Where are you, Catherine? I do know it's where Wild Bill comes from. I can't think where. Oh, it's where Wild Bill lives.
Texas?
No. South Georgia. Catherine is Georgia.
Georgia.
Night, Nicola. Take it easy.
Night.
4:30 a.m. Bloody hell, Nicola. Get yourself some kick, girl.
Yeah. Mom.
Get yourself some sleep, girl. And leave the washing up. The Fae will do it for you in the night.
What?
You'll be all right.
What do you want, Bob?
What's he doing?
I just found something.
Cool. I've got the dog here. I don't know if he wants to go out. He's sort of looking at me. What do you want? Oh, I don't know.
He's just he's blanking you, isn't he? What have you got, Eric?
Oh, I said, Wisconsin, monster capital of America.
Wow.
Monster, is it really?
That's what it says.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
The Pine Barrens in New Jersey. That's not Wisconsin.
You got the Jersey Devil.
Yeah, you got that. Yeah. Where's that I want to go to? If I ever get over to the States, I want to go to Land Between the Lakes. They call it LBL. Yeah, LBL, Land Between the Lakes. They have loads and loads of, and I mean loads of activity from Bigfoot and Dogmen there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And there was just, I'm trying to get this guy on at the minute. He had an experience there, which was terrifying to say the least. And he will come on at some point, but
Grizzly just
went get back to me.
Grizzly just came back from there a couple months ago. He was out there.
Who was out there?
Grizzly.
What, Land Between the Lakes?
Yep. The LBL.
It's terrifying. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's terrifying.
Where is it?
Down by Florida. Florida has a whole bunch of, like, it's called the Land of 1,000 Lakes, and the Land Between the Lakes is that area. They have that.
They had an experience there back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, I think it was. And what it was, there was a lot of Dogman stuff going on there. And, are you, Ian? Are you doing well, bud? And
hi.
Yep.
Yeah. And what it was, he went there with he met a family. He was with his family, and then they met another family. They were in RVs. And he went across to spend the day with this family. And the father was doing something at the back of the RV. This is like dusk. So it's not dark, it's getting dark. And then they've heard a growling.
Wait, hold on,
and the next thing, he's heard screaming coming from the back of the coach, or this RV. He's on the RV, this kid. And he's looking out, and the mother then she screams, runs out of the coach, out of the RV. Then he sees her getting torn apart. Then the kid runs out, who's their child.
Yeah.
He gets killed.
Wow.
But he finds a there's another bloke there. There's another bloke there apparently, and he's got a shotgun. So he picks a shotgun off, gets off of this RV. The kid by now is ducking down and just looking out the window and trying to, he's terrified.
Mm.
And he blasts this dog man. He sees it. He said they've got werewolves, 2 of them. He said he blasts one, and this thing goes flying across, hits a tree, dies. But by the time the guys killed it and turned around, the other one's on him. The other one's torn him apart.
Mm-hmm.
So he said he sat there crying for what seemed like an eternity, and this thing stuck its head. He could see it, stuck its up the top of its body into the RV and was looking. Couldn't see him, and then got off and went away again. People turned up. They phoned the police up. The police turned up. The army turned up.
Mm-hmm.
Wiped everything down. Got rid of the coach. Got the RV. Got rid of everything. Tied the bodies up. Took the dog man away. What was left of it. Got the kid, and said you didn't experience to see anything.
Yep.
Never had any treatment. Nothing. They said they took him back to his parents, and they said he's going to tell you something, but you don't tell anybody else. Yep. And if you do, you're gonna there's going to be trouble. And so they clearly know they seem to know what's going on.
Oh, they do.
They know what's going on.
There's a special forces group that deals with cryptids.
Yes, I've heard that. Yes, they're like special forces, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
They go out there, highly trained military black ops. Yeah. Noreen says, I need to pick your brains down about something I experienced years ago, but I've never heard anyone talk about, just to see if you've ever heard about anything similar. If you haven't, you could maybe run it past Eric or Tim or anyone else you know. I'm just curious to know if anyone else has experienced it. I'll message you when I get far. Please do, Noreen. I'll run it past the boys and try and find some. Hopefully, might have heard something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Bay Hill in Georgia that was claimed by the Native Americans. It's fenced up and highly illegal to even step foot close to it, but you can drive by it. Yeah.
Yep, pretty much, Robert. X-Files stuff.
Yeah. I
It
love
is.
the X-Files. I love
It's the best
X-Files.
thing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
just
they
when
tried to
that ended.
redo it though, and then they cut it off short, and I'm like, why? Because they were going to introduce a new couple of female and male. I forget what they're, but they were showing Fox and Mulder together training these younger Fox and Mulder. So,
See, that would have been cool, wouldn't it? That would have been cool. I used to watch something called, what is it, Warehouse 13? Did you ever see that?
well, that was a good show. I watched that like several times in a row. I'll watch it later on. That's just game.
Have you got me on Facebook, Noreen? If you haven't, I'll send you or you can send me a thing, and then I'll friend you on Facebook, and then just send me a message through that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be interested to hear, and the boys will be interested to hear the story, what it is as well.
Definitely.
We all will.
Hi, Hazel.
Hello. Eric and Tim.
Hello.
Don't think I've done. All right, Noreen. Well, find me on Facebook. Just Dan Winter. You'll find it, and if you can't, I'll find you, Noreen.
Yeah.
And then you can send me the message. I'd love to hear it. Love to. It's amazing, isn't it? People have experiences, and you think, well, I've never heard that one before. I've not seen that. But you can always find somebody who knows about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, Noreen.
People used to be scared of saying, didn't they? But not so much now.
No, they're not. I think people are more accepting of it now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It came out the other day that scientists, it was in one of the local, is one of the nationals, that they believe they found the dimension beyond death.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
They think they've discovered it. They think they might have discovered it now. So they know now that it just doesn't end at the point of physical death, that consciousness does go beyond it. Which is crazy, because we've been telling them that for years. Technology won't work around it. The human brain will damn near seize that on it, and planes can't fly over it. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting, Catherine.
But they said, 10 years ago that they found the God gene, and then you hear that, and then nothing after that. So
I saw a video the other day. I know we're getting away from the fate and stuff, but same, area, the supernatural and paranormal. And it was a police helicopter in America, and there was a chase, and this cop car is behind this. It looks to be like a muscle car that a guy's stolen. So they're zooming down this freeway. It must have been like early morning or something, because it was quiet, really quiet. Zooming down the freeway, and the chopper. Did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you?
Where it went through a fence?
No.
Oh.
I saw that one. That was at night. That one, wasn't it? That was at night. So what he's done during the day, right? It's like, it must be early morning, because it's quite bright. He's zooming down. So what? I don't know what has made him do this. This guy, he's undone the door and rolled out the car. As he's rolled, you see his head, and you don't see the head break, but you see liquid come out of it, which is clearly blood, right? So the police, literally, they're like on him within a second, right? Split second. They pull up by the body, right? Now, this is a police helicopter that's got this footage. You see him get up and run away from his body.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen a deer like that, too.
I couldn't believe it. He gets up. His body's in the road. He doesn't realise he's dead, I don't think. Yeah. And he still thinks the police are after him. So he runs across the central reservation and you think to yourself, and you can hear the copper going, what the fuck? Sort of that. But it's like he's got up. It's like his spirit's got up and carried on running. Are you, Terry? And if I'll get it, I will find it. I keep saying I will find it and put it on here. But it was one of the most intriguing.
Did you see the one with the deer got hit? This lady's filming out her kitchen window or whatever.
I've not seen the deer one, no.
Yeah, and her deer got hit by a car. It tried to get up, to get away. It fell down, and then the spirit came out of its body and got up and walked away.
Mental, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's mental. Technology is going to start catching more and more. You've seen it, Noreen. It's a phenomenal piece of footage. And you can see the cops are like, because they can see it because they've got the camera on it, this chopper.
Yep.
And you can see like what the, but the police can't, like the cops that are on the road can't see him get up and run off. So they just get out and just walk over to where his body is, bless him. And he's done it off. A few years ago, a kid tried to fly a drone over it and literally exploded when it crossed the fence. The kid tried to go get passed out. He was hospitalised for a while. And it turned out he had a brain. Oh, bless him. Oh, bless him. Didn't make it. Oh, I love him. I think it was shown on a TV programme. Yeah, Noreen, it was it's the wildest piece of footage I've ever seen. Wildest piece of footage I've ever seen. And I would have been very sceptical over it had it have not been police that recorded it.
Yep.
You know?
I'm telling you. Watch Paranormal Caught on Camera. It's on
you love that, Eric, don't you?
Yep, it's on Prime Video. Watch it from the first episode all the way through, and you'll see a lot of stuff that people catch. And even Jonathan Downs is on there. So
there you go. Yes, trauma apparition, exactly, Terry. Amazing piece of footage. Amazing. But there's a lot more goes on this world. We haven't even got a clue, have we? We couldn't even scratch the surface of what's going on. You know, we like to think we know everything. It amazes me when people say, well, yeah, that's not real and that can't. And you think, well, there's nothing more. It's like the fact that you're on a spinning ball in the middle of nowhere on an indeterminate amount of space that can't be categorized, and you're talking to another human being. That's the hardest thing to get your head around.
Oh, yeah.
So why can't there be things like spirits and stuff like that is pretty run of the mill compared to what we experience every day, communicating with each other and talking to each other. But it's amazing. Right, well, we're coming up to the end of the evening, everybody. I know we went off topic, we always do, but it was interesting.
It
did go quick.
Why don't we do...
Thanks, Rita.
What's next week? Does anybody pick anything for next week?
Not yet.
I was looking at... What was I looking at? Something. I'll let you know. I can't remember, but I was looking at something. So yeah, I'll let you boys know, and then we can let it out whenever. Yeah. Oh, you guys have enjoyed tonight. Tomorrow night is Friday night, and that's Nettie, and it'll be Ian, and it'll be Bri. Always a good show with those guys. Really good night, and that is called, what's it called? Paranormal?
No, it's called Freaky Fridays.
Is it Freaky Fridays?
I'm pretty sure it's Freaky Friday. I can start writing this stuff down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, Catherine. We live in a weird world. Amazing world we live in. Yes, so they're on tomorrow night. So they always have good topics with them. So that'll be fun. Saturday, I don't know if is William on Saturday.
Is it the first weekend? Yeah, I think he is. So
William will be on with Paranormal. Oh, not Dimensions. What's he called? I can't think. Do you know? I really must get the. I know.
I know. I gotta do the same thing. I keep forgetting.
We're terrible. You and I are terrible, Eric. So William will be on Saturday, and then Sunday, Nettie's on again with you're on Sunday.
Usually they're on Sunday.
Are you on Sunday?
One of these times they're talking about the gin. I think Friday night they're talking about the gin.
Okay, that'll be good. They are. That'll be a good one. That'll be interesting. And she does the psychic thing, doesn't she? On Nettie does a psychic program on Sunday, doesn't she?
Yeah, I don't think it's a psychic thing. I think it's called something else.
Can't remember. Terrible, isn't it? The only one I know is the Dark Mirror Boys and us. Dark Mirror Boys on Monday night. You know, that'll be. Do you know what, Terry? It is an age thing, mate. You're absolutely right. I mean, when you hit your mid-30s like me, it all goes wrong. But yeah, so they'll be on Monday, the boys. So that'll be young Wayne and young Mark. Another good show. And Plants won't even grow on it. They have to have people to That's weird.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
much we don't know about Catherine. So much. Makes it interesting, though, doesn't it? And then Tuesday is it's Simply Spooky again, isn't it? It's
Yep. And
Simply
I don't
Spooky.
remember what we're doing, but I do have it written, a thing for it already made. So
good. So that'll be Tuesday, and then Wednesday you'll be back, and then we're back again Thursday. So that'll be good for another Weird Room, another episode of Weird Room.
Yeah.
And that's it. So thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed this evening. I'm sorry, it's me. There's nothing to do with Tim and Eric. It's me. I've got fucking minds all over the place thinking of different subjects. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We enjoyed it, and we'll see you next week. My fucking finger. What have you done with your finger, Catherine? No, I don't want to know.